go through a presidential election.
Yes.
You've not taken part in the debate.
Yes.
You've not granted major interviews live for people to ask you questions.
And that's why I said they're trying to show us that this thing can be done, gangster. You don't need to do all these things to be president. I've got foot soldiers. This thing that his supporters say that he has made many people. We're seeing all those people now coming out to campaign for him. So they want to show us that they don't have to follow the regular formula. I personally don't support anyone participating in the debates, and I'll tell you why. Debates are very elitist, and they only cater to people like you and I.
But
the market women, the majority of the people who are the electorate that will vote, don't even understand the words you're saying, macroeconomic tendencies and all those things. So
I beg to disagree. Because even if it's just for the
photo ops,
yes. Don't forget access to media now is, oh my God.
Yes, but you see, this is a man who owns his own newspaper. He owns his own radio station. He owns his own television station. And all three are solidly campaigning for him.
But in those areas, he'll just be speaking to the converted.
Yes.
That's what it is.
Yes.
When Awolowo had Tribune, it was read far and wide, but by his supporters. So I think that they're caught between a rock and a hard place.
They are of the three political parties, the one that has the most baggage is the APC. In 2015, there was no incumbency to judge them upon. Now they've had 8 years, and we will judge them on those 8 years.
One observation I've made about the Labour Party is that it's only their candidate that seems to be in the forefront and visible. As a party, you don't get to see much.
Yes.
Does that bother you?
It does. You see, the Supreme Court had ruled that the ticket belongs to the party, not the individual. So, in Peter Obi moving to the Labour Party, we knew that would happen. The Labour Party, as it is constituted in Nigeria, is not like the normal Labour Party you have anywhere in the world. Normally, a Labour Party is a party for workers.
Workers, yes.
It's not the same here. So I knew that was going to happen. It's like into oblivion. But there is a movement. Peter Obi is the beneficiary of this movement. I'm telling you that there's nothing he can do to stop this movement. If Peter Obi decided today that he wasn't contesting anymore, people would write his name on the ballot paper. That's how bad it is. And so the other parties that are attacking him are making a mistake. He himself I can bet he cannot believe where he is
now
today with that party. Without any incentive, people are pushing. This movement is moving. It could have been anyone. It could have been Sowore benefiting from this movement, but it just so happened that it is Peter Obi. I'm still insisting that the end of this election will shock many people. I can tell you, the only fact I'm sure of is that of the three major political parties, Peter Obi is not going to come third. I don't know who will be first or second, but he won't be third.
Now that is very
and this was not my feeling a month or 2 months ago.
Yes.
But it is my feeling now that...
Okay, if you think he won't come third, do you also get a feeling that there could be a second runoff, there could be a runoff?
I don't think there will be a runoff. This is still October. The election is in February. Okay. The APC doesn't have a manifesto yet. As I told you earlier on, they're still trying to do this new style of campaigning. We don't even know what they're coming to do, what they're going to do, because they're distancing themselves from Buhari.
Now, let me stop you there. Now, if they distance themselves from Buhari, do they still expect Buhari's support?
Especially if government is a continuum.
Yes.
And this is the president's party. It should have been easy for them to campaign. We're going to continue.
Would that work?
Yes, with the work that Buhari is doing. But there are two camps. Some people in there don't think Buhari did anything. Some people are bitter. They wanted Buhari to have imposed Tinubu from the get-go. They didn't. They were not even happy. Some people are not even happy that people were allowed to buy a form. Why should the form have been sold to PYO, for instance? People genuinely believed that those that Tinubu appointed as commissioners or whatever back in the day were rude and traitorous in taking
appointments with Buhari.
Yes, and taking the form.
Oh, took the form.
Yes, taking the form. You know, it's like Ofemaba Ogadunkan kind of thing, you know. So
maybe that's why my friend before Fayemi quickly stepped down and said, that I'm a young man. He quickly added that to. It's a whole lot of nonsense if you ask me. I don't understand what you said, and I've advised them. Is also the media approach, like Festus goes for interviews, the woman leader who came, is Dele Alake too, shouting at the top of his voice, coming and fighting with nobody inside.
See, that's the thing.
Why would that body language shows a bit of fear?
No, it's not fear. They have to continue to explain. Do you think it is easy going to an interview knowing that you are just going to be explaining? If you are not explaining why there's no primary school, you are explaining why there's no secondary school, you are explaining why there's no result, you are explaining why there's no classmate, you are explaining why there's nobody that took picture with you in school. And, you know, there are just too many explanations.
Do you have pictures of yourself in school?
Even if I don't have, do you know how many people have of me?
Primary.
Do you understand? So you join any of these groups, you know, staff school group 1977, you will see, even if you don't have, people will come. When Fashola became governor, Uniben was claiming him. He didn't need to say, I went to Uniben. There were enough people to say, he's one of us. You understand what I'm saying? So don't blame them for raising their voices. It's not an easy job to do.
In some areas, they actually have to prove that the man is a Nigerian.
Exactly. So you can't blame them when they come. They're very combative because they know what they're coming to this interview to say. You can't you can't interview anyone from the APC without mentioning these things. It's bound to make them combative. It's tiring. You know, while other people are talking about the economy and Peter Obi is saying he's going to scrap import restrictions and stuff, they are still busy explaining and explaining. The PDP is the party that gave Nigerians zoning, and they had that within their rules. You know, why would the PDP stick with a northern Muslim for his presidential ticket when we're still ending an 8-year run of a northern president? So, and that's why I said the PDP has no respect for its southern members, just as the APC has no respect for its Christian members or for Christians in Nigeria. So they're both in the same boat. They've made wrong decisions and they will have to live with those decisions up to the day of election.